Welcome to Photoshop User TV, produced by Photoshop User Magazine and the National Association of Photoshop Professionals. And here are your hosts, the Photoshop guys, Dave Cross, Matt Kloskowski, and Scott Kelby.
This week's episode is brought to you in part by MPix, delivering the highest quality prints and products from your photos, period. Shoot today, upload tonight, we ship tomorrow.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to another respectful episode.
Thank God! You guys have no idea what just took place here.
Photoshop User TV, brought to you by Photoshop User Magazine.
Still
That's it there.
here.
Hi, everybody, I'm Scott Kelby, and I'm here with a couple of my buddies. I love these guys. These two guys. This is Dave.
Welcome.
That's Matt. I have respect for these guys.
We're happy
Great
you're back.
Respect. Yeah, it's good to be back.
It's, about 60 seconds ago, we didn't have Scott here. We had somebody else.
Yeah, I got off
before.
on this whole martial arts respectful thing, and it was very Buddhist
Had a voice
Zen
going along with it.
kinda.
This is the first we've heard Scott's voice in 5 minutes,
Yeah.
as you hear it.
It was a cross between what Matt said. It sounded like the woman on The Incredibles.
The Incredibles.
Yeah, the
and,
one that was doing the Edith Head
And
imitation.
Miss Swan
Yeah.
from Mad TV.
Yeah, so. But anyway, that's over now because it's time for the show. Hey, we have a very, very good show for you. First off, this is show 177. We've done 177 of these straight for no apparent reason. But anyway, we're glad you're here. We've got a couple things. Of course, we're just about the Photoshop world.
Next week.
Photoshop World. Next week, we'll be there. We hope you will be. And if you are, make sure you come by and say hi and all that fun stuff. Also, if you're in the Boston area, you can go online and you can print out a expo pass.
Yeah.
Free pass.
And free expo
Yeah,
pass.
just come and check out the expo, the booths,
Yeah.
and the vendors, and there's free. There's some free classes on the show floor and stuff, and we're doing a thing at the MPix booth too. Come by and see us at the MPix booth. We'll be hanging out there. Should be a lot of fun. And by the way, you can just come up and buy a ticket though if you didn't plan for it and you go, it's next
I
week.
want to go.
I think I'll go. You can show up and buy one at the door.
Yeah.
It's expensive as hell, but you can do it. No, it's not that bad, no. But absolutely, we hope you'll come and join us. It'll be a lot of fun. And it's a 3-day love fest. Go to photoshopworld.com, you'll learn all about it. Hey, we have a very special guest, in-studio guest today. Michael Tapes is here. Now, you've heard me talk about Michael Tapes on my blog, and because he was one of the guys behind the instant JPEG from RAW phenomenon.
Yeah.
And you've heard us talk about his Weibel, because we use that for white balancing and stuff, so you've seen us use that on the show as well. Today he's here with something new and astounding. So that'll be coming up a little later. We also have a special segment from Rick Sammon because none of us really want to work. And
We're throwing whatever
let's
we
see.
can.
We got some other stuff. Hey, I got a tutorial for you. Can I go ahead and
Before you do that, though, it's important you know that Scott has his Lightroom 2 tour going to various cities.
Yeah, I'm going to various cities. I'm going to Portland coming up in May, I think. Is it May?
Yeah.
It's not April, is it?
Could be. We'll let him
Anyway,
know.
Someone will know the answer
coming
to
to
that.
Portland, and then this spring I'll be in Denver. So please come to Denver for the springtime.
Sounds like a musical cue.
Anyway, and then I'll be going to Washington, D.C., kicking off the brand new Down and Dirty Tricks tour. So I hope you'll join me in D.C. for that. So Lightroom in Portland and Denver in May, and then on to Washington, D.C. So
Very good.
now can I do my tutorial?
Please
thing?
You may.
Thank
Be
you.
nice.
All right,
We'll
thanks.
interrupt again.
All right, so this is kind of something, this picks up on something that I did on my blog. So if you saw this first on my blog or vice versa, this is it. So here we have the final image, all right? So this is a product shot. We used these sunglasses and it's shot on a black background. I want to show you what the setup of it is. Now, when I open the setup photo, it's gonna look complicated. That's just because we use more stands and things that we actually needed to. It's actually a very simple setup. So let me open up the photo, that's a pre-warning. Okay.
Oh my gosh, that's complicated.
Yeah, well, it does look complicated, but it's honestly
No, it
not.
does, but it's just because all the
Right, let me just kind of show you what we have here. All it is a poor Brad, my assistant Brad, put this, he hung the sunglasses from fishing string. So that's what you're seeing there is basically fishing
Which
string.
is very ingenious of Brad.
It was. Brad's a very ingenious guy. So we have a black felt background, all right, and you're hanging your thing from fishing string. So it's not very elegant. There are 3 lights. You don't have to use 3 lights, but there's 1 light from the top, one light from in front to light the actual lens part of the glass, and then one on bottom. You don't need 3 lights to do this. You could do just 2 lights, which is the top light, the side light, and then put a silver reflector under here. But the reason why I wanted lights from top, lights from bottom was to basically put a little highlight so you could see they're black glasses against a black background. So you really wanted it to kind of be that way. So now you'll see the shot as it was taken. That's the final. All right, so let's go look at the shot as it was taken, which is, here's the raw file out of the camera. All right, so you can see there's a couple of issues here. The 3 issues that need to be addressed are basically I didn't do a great job of lighting this very front, but I could have probably tweaked it a little bit more to get it just right. But this is a very easy fix in Photoshop. So rather than spending an hour on the set trying to get the lights right, I can spend 15 seconds in Photoshop and fix that one. Number 2 is, of course, we have to remove the fishing string, and I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to do that.
I kind of like it.
It does look good with fishing string. It looks real. It's gritty.
Yeah.
And then number 3 is the background needs to be solid black. All right. Well, here in Camera Raw, which is where we have the photo, that part's going to be fairly easy. To make it black, we're just going to go to the black slider and just basically drag it up. There.
That's not bad.
That pretty much does it right there. All right. And if we want to brighten the overall brightness of the glasses now, if you feel the glasses, you can just change the exposure, because the exposure is going to control more of the highlights. So you're not going to be making the background a whole lot brighter by doing this. So you can actually make the background nice and black, and then even bring up this a little bit there. Okay, so now we have pretty decent exposure. And you can see those highlights I was talking about. See how there's like a little light coming from the bottom, then the white light coming from the top, and then the light coming from the front. So pretty minimal stuff you're doing here in Camera Raw. This is really a retouch job, if it's anything. Let's go ahead and open it up in Photoshop. And just to make things quicker, I'm going to zoom down to 8-bit. There we go. All right. Now, first thing is, let's get rid of the fishing wire. Now, there's a couple easy ways to do this. I want to use the patch tool. But if you use the patch tool where this fishing wire is actually touching any other object, and this is just the way the patch tool works, it will literally smear the edges. They will smudge. So what we do to get around that is get the rubber stamp tool. We'll choose a little hard-edged brush. And you're just going to kind of you're going to Option click on Mac or Alt click on PC on that black area, and you're just going to cut a little break in the line like that. All right, there's just a little piece. All right, then you're going to go up to the top, and you're going to break a line up here. Just go ahead and clone over that little area. So now that you have a break in the top and the bottom, what you can do is get the patch tool, all right, which is the cousin to the healing brush.
I love the patch tool.
I do too. Hold the Option key and click so you draw straight lines. On PC, of course, it would be the Alt key. And we're just going to draw straight lines all the way around your fishing line. And then click. It puts a selection around it. Now you're going to click and drag to a different area, release, and there it goes. Your fishing line's gone. And again, the reason why we had to use that little trick was because of that. Okay, we could basically do the same thing here. Let's go ahead and we'll cut off this part of make a break in the fishing line here. All right, and then a break up there. Make a brush a little bigger up there. Make a break up there. You might as well break both of them while we're up here, right? And then patch tool. So oh gosh, I didn't break the other part of the line. Sorry, it needs a break too. It deserves a break. Right here. All right, drag it away. And within 45 minutes to an hour, no, there we go, it's done. Okay, all right, so now we're gonna have to deal with these couple little things here. There is a great new feature inside of Photoshop CS4 that makes this process so much easier. Let's switch to a soft edge brush, and of course, let's make sure we have deselected our selection by pressing Command D on Mac or Control D on PC. I want to get rid of these little things. Here's what you do. Go in here with a brush and Option click like on the white line. And then as you move over, look inside. I'm going to zoom in so you can see. Look inside the cursor itself, and you can see the white line you're going to paint. So you can move it right over where you're going to be. That wasn't very good. Let's try that better. There we go. That's a little better. You can see where the line, that wasn't the best.
It gives you a little clone preview.
Yeah, that was kind of lame, actually. So let me choose a better spot. We'll go right along this edge. Right on that edge. Option click on Mac, Alt click on PC, move over. There we go. and just boom, right down that line. Sweet, that's better, that's what I was looking for. All right, same thing over here. So we can come over here, we're gonna option click. When you see that little target show up, that's me option clicking on Mac, all clicking on PC. You can move it over and just go right down that line and get rid of that. I'm not gonna get rid of all of these, but you'll get the idea. Of course, this part's easy, that's in the middle of nowhere. But to get rid of this, you'll do the same thing. Just kind of option click right there, move down till it perfectly lines up, and then paint right over it. And getting rid of this other stuff is, once you've painted the line, this is easy junk, right? Nice. You'll love to hear that when you see a tutorial. Oh, nice, whoops, whoops. I always love to hear that. We always just say it to the video crew when we're on location. We hear them go, whoops, and we're like, we love to hear that. All right, and that's how you'll get rid of it. It's a little tedious, but it's better than the alternative, so. Kind of get rid of that junk. And if there's still a little junk left over, option click on Mac, I'll click on PC, go right down that line, and ka-chow, it's gone. Okay.
Isn't it amazing how quickly you get used to that little CS4 preview with the
Oh,
tab?
yeah.
You wonder how you ever lived without it. It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's phenomenal. Okay, so I'm not going to clean up all the rest of that. The next challenge, the last challenge of this, so we fixed the black, we fixed the fishing wire. The last one is this area right here. We're going to use another CS4 thingy, the quick select tool.
I like this part.
And we're going to go. Well, we'll create a new layer, and we're going to go in here and just select the glasses. And this, again, this is the part that I should have lit a little better in the studio, but did not. You can use this tool, and it's spilling out everywhere. Actually, let's do it on this layer, and then we'll just, there we go. There we go. I'm thinking, why is it spilling everywhere? All right, I'm going to actually contract that by 1 pixel. So it's already all the way to the edges.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring it in 1 pixel. So select, modify, and contract. Bring it in 1 pixel.
Bring it in.
There we go. Bring it in a pixel. Actually, how about 1 more pixel? Do it. That way, Dave goes, do it. Thanks, Dave. All right, now I'm just going to grab the gradient tool. We're going to use the standard old black to white gradient, the third gradient up here in the gradient picker. And we're going to drag, not that way. There we go. That way, to fix the problem.
Saved yourself a lot of time.
Well, of course, it would have been nice if I did it on the blank layer that's sitting up there. Because then I could have had
Who cares
a little
about layers
control over
anyway?
it. But anyway, that's how the final image was done. I mean, obviously a little cleanup on there, and brightening a little bit. Not much.
Sweet, like it.
That's pretty much it. Okay, long tutorial. Sorry, but anyway, that was. I wanted to do that because I talked about it on my blog at scottkelby.com. I don't really like to talk about my blog at scottkelby.com because it's different. Even though I blog every day there 5 days a week and have a special guest blog program, I wouldn't want to really just talk about scottkelby.com here on the show.
So definitely don't visit.
Oh,
Scott
do
Kelby.
not go there because there's all kinds of stuff you like. Anyway, hey, when we come back, we've got a special segment with Michael Tapes. We've got Rick Sammon's drop in. Got some other cool stuff. I hope you'll stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Photoshop User TV. We are here waiting for our next segment. Of course, Matt's not here. He's left us to go down to the studio to do an interview with Michael Tapes. And we will...
I'm right here, Dave.
Matt, go to the studio.
Okay. Once Matt actually does go to the studio, any moment now, he will have a segment with our special guest, Michael Tapes. So over to you, Matt.
Now?
Yeah, now.
All right, well, I am here with Michael Tapes from Lens Align Pro. And Michael, you've got a brand new product out.
We do.
And it's called Lens Align Pro, interestingly enough.
Interestingly enough.
All right, so tell us a little bit about it, how it kind of came to be.
Well, it came about because there's a real problem in the marketplace with digital about camera lens combinations, back focusing, or front focusing. And this is real. Professionals, enthusiasts, we have fast glass, we have the ability to look at these pictures at 100% on the screen, and now we have the ability for not a lot of money to make big prints. So focus is real important. In fact, in one of Scott's books, he says, if it ain't sharp, the day's over. So, you know, it's really important.
And we hear a lot of people, I've always heard a lot of people say, you know, my photos just aren't quite crisp enough. What am I doing wrong?
Right, so
there is a number of things they could be going wrong.
Right.
But if someone thinks it's their lens and camera combination, if they think there's a problem there, then that's where Lens Align Pro comes in.
Lens Align allows you to test the health, if you will, of a given lens on a given body, because a given lens will perform differently on different bodies. This lens may perform differently on my body than your body. So it's a combination. And the great thing is that the camera bodies now, every manufacturer of cameras now has at least some models in their line that allow for what's called AF tune, or autofocus micro adjustment, whereby we can actually compensate for this front focus, back focus.
Yeah.
Because the lens camera combination is built to a tolerance, so even though it's working and even though it's within spec, it could be marginal. Let me show you these pictures I took. And in this particular combination of camera and lens, both high grade, what you've got is a bias towards front focus. Okay, you can see that the zero line is at the top of the depth of field rather than being in the center where it's supposed to be. Now that's the normal performance, it's in spec. But the point is, as in one of these next shots, I took a couple of pictures, 1 per second, tripod, everything set, but the focus system just glitched a little bit, and because it was already on the borderline, it glitched to the point where that was a soft shot. So if that was the money shot, the client would buy it, because on the 4x6 you're not going to see that the eye isn't sharp. They're going to come back with the order the 16x20, and you've got a soft shot. Happens to all of us. So, for example, took out this 50mm 1.4 lens, brand new lens from Nikon. I love shooting low light portraits in close. Put it on Lens Align, turns out it has a pretty severe front focus bias. Great, I adjusted it, and with a 7 offset, it now works great. So it's not that the lens is broken, it just falls within a range, and the autofocus microtune, or whatever it's called on the given camera, lets you adjust the lens so that you don't have these problems. And it hits pros, amateurs, everybody, and it's real. Fast glass and long glass, most notably because of small depth of field.
And so the way it all works is you have the Lens Align Pro system, which is basically you put this onto a tripod.
Yeah, it could be on a tabletop, could be on a tripod, and the key is you need to align the sensor of the camera perfectly parallel to this. That's
which is why you have this,
right? Which
and
is
why we don't just shoot this.
You
can't just have somebody hold that.
Forget about this. We set this up to get this perfectly parallel, and the sighting system takes about 3-4 minutes, and then the autofocus system is concentrating on this perfectly parallel, and then we use this for us to read out the focus and depth of field for the human being. And this rotates to give us a different view of the depth of field, so we can get a true picture of the health of this lens body combination and adjust it if the camera has the AF microtune.
Okay, and so once I do take that picture, then I can come onto the back of the camera, and that's where I can tune it.
Right.
Okay, so in a nutshell.
In a nutshell.
I gotta make sure I get it. So in a nutshell, it's not just letting you see if you have a problem. If you think you have a problem, that's where you come and you set this up and you take a picture, but it's also, it helps you tune the camera to eliminate that problem, and then you can kind of shoot a couple more to make sure you're honing in.
And the validation that all this is true is the camera manufacturers would not have put in the autofocus microtune if it weren't serving a real purpose. So, but the missing link was Lens Align, and I've met with all the camera companies, and we hope that they'll be recommending Lens Align shortly once they get through their legal things. And but it's been great, from enthusiasts to pros. I've spoken with thousands of people over the last couple of months, and it's just been a very rewarding experience, because people end up getting sharper pictures.
Very nice. All right, well, where can, well, first off, how much is it going to run me?
Introductory price, $139.95. It will be going up in about a month.
Okay, and then where can I find out more?
Lensalign.com.
Mr. Tapes, pleasure having you by, appreciate it.
Thank you, Matt.
And folks, we have a brand new segment coming up here with Rick Sammon, so let's go check it out.
Hey, I'm Rick Sammon. I'm here in Tarpon Springs, Florida, doing a series called Snapshots to Great Shots. I'm here with Jen, one of my friends from Kelby Training. Now, Jen, what kind of picture were you taking before? You know, they look pretty good.
Yeah, I was getting a picture of the boat right over here with the water right in front of it.
Okay, let me see where you were when you took that shot, because position is really important. You know, a lot of people just take pictures at eye level. Let me see what you were doing.
Okay.
Ah, this is good. She got down. Very good. That's the first good thing. Okay, let's see the shot. Okay, you know, it looks pretty good. You know, I like the composition and everything with the foreground elements. The foreground elements add a sense of depth and dimension. If you had zoomed in and just got the boat, it would have looked very flat. So we have that sense of depth and dimension, but look, the boat is a little washed out.
Yeah.
So let's use our exposure compensation and let's just reduce the exposure by about a half a stop.
Okay.
Now try it. Now I can predict what's going to happen. Go ahead. Now, without looking, I know
Yeah.
the boat's not as washed out, the water looks a lot bluer, and the sky is a deeper shade of blue.
Yep.
And we have more definition in the clouds, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Kind of cool, right?
Yeah, that's really cool.
We're on our way. Now, you're on the P mode, the program
Yes.
mode. Well, when you're on the program mode, what happens is the camera does all the thinking for you, right? And you're a creative person. I know this. So we're going to switch to the AV mode, the
Okay.
aperture value mode.
Okay.
And we're going to dial in a smaller aperture, f/18, okay?
Okay.
That way, in the other shot, this was a little out of focus. Now you're
Uh-huh.
going to get everything in focus because when you shoot a landscape or a seascape, what you want to do is you want the scene to look like it looks to your eyes, everything in the scene in focus, right?
Yeah, that looks great.
So let's look at the other shot. Let's scroll
Okay.
back. Okay, there's the snapshot, and there's the...
There's the great shot.
See, it's not that hard to turn a snapshot into a great shot. We'll catch you later.
All right, beautiful, beautiful, okay? A little bit closer, okay? That's it, work a little bit to the side, yep, there we go, that's it, hold it. Time for a close-up. Brad, need tuner F2, can I get that hair adjusted, please? All right, the hair's looking good, all right. That's it, work the hair, come on. That's it, give it to me, there we go, beautiful, beautiful, yes, work the hair. That, oh, look at the eye, give me that, oh, there you go, beautiful, excellent. Hold that pose, there we go, beautiful.
Hi, folks. We are back. Scott Kelby here with Matt Kloskowski
Golly.
and Dave Cross.
Gee.
Anyway, hey, just real quick before we get to Matt's tutorial, Adobe did recently announce a new update to Camera Raw and
good catch.
to Lightroom. So it's a free update. It supports if you have like a Nikon D3X, which means you're very loose with money, or some of the new Olympus cameras and stuff. Anyway, you can go check those out. You can go download it from adobe.com in their download section. So.
Very good little news item there.
Well, thank you, Matt.
I approve.
We used to have a news segment on the show, didn't we?
At some point.
What happened?
I don't know.
Just kinda
Went away, didn't it?
away.
It was because Stephanie went away.
Well, it's that and the fact that we never really had much news on a weekly basis to tell.
Yeah, nothing really happens.
All right. I got a tutorial.
Are you taking over at this point, I guess?
I'm taking over.
Can I throw it to you?
Oh, I thought you did already.
Hey, so Matt's here and he's got a great tutorial for you. Matt?
Why, thanks, Scott.
You're welcome.
All right. So I got a neat tutorial here because if you have...
It's neat?
It's very neat.
Golly.
Golly gee.
Gee, this is swell.
If you have Illustrator, so if you bought the Creative Suite, inside Illustrator CS4, they did something that I think was very, very cool, is that they looked at what a lot of the trends are out there when it comes to graphic design and illustration, and they put presets right inside of Illustrator that I think are actually very timely to what some of the current trends are. So when I say trends, if you take a look here under the window menu, you can go down to your brush libraries, and you're going to go under vector packs. That's brand new, these grunge brushes and these hand-drawn brushes. We used to have to show people how to create these things from scratch, how to scan in graphics or try to draw them from scratch, but now they're included right inside of Illustrator. If you go down here to your symbol libraries, and you'll see there is a florid vector pack. It doesn't do a very good job of describing what it is, but if I open that up, take a look. Let me drag one of these objects out, and you can see what I'm talking about. You see these things all over the place, okay? But I want to show you one where you can actually save yourself some time. You can take what you do inside of Illustrator and use it inside of Photoshop. So we'll go to symbol libraries. I'm going to go to the dot vector pack, and I'm going to drag one of these kind of like halftone dot pattern objects out. And you can see it looks pretty cool, very, very stylish when it comes to some of today's current trends. Well, I'm going to copy it from inside Illustrator. I'm just going to go hop over into Photoshop, and let's create a new document here. and then I'm going to paste it into that new document. I'm just going to paste it in here as pixels because it comes in plenty large. Hit enter, return, and you can see it puts it in here into its own Photoshop document. Then I'll just go up to the edit menu here, go down to define brush preset, and I'll just call it, call it dots 1. Very, very ingenious name. And hit OK. So I've just created a brush from what I used inside of Illustrator. All right? And you can go through here and you can do that for all the different shapes that come inside of these various packs that came with Illustrator. Just bring them over into Photoshop, turn them into brushes. Once they're inside of there, now we can go back over to Photoshop here. Let's go to an image here. You'll see it used all the time with these kind of silhouette-y graphics. So I'm going to create a new layer underneath the silhouette. Let's take our brush tool and actually let's add a background color to this. Let's go with that orange and yellow background. All right, so now we get a little bit of color in here. Let's add another new layer, and we'll select the brush tool. This time, when you go to your brush picker up at the top, are you sending emails?
No, I just got an email from Moose.
Oh, okay. Tell him I said hi. All right.
Hold on. So, Matt says hi.
So you can come up here, and it's a regular brush. All right. You can use it just as you would any other brush. You can see I can click there and click there. But let me go ahead and change my brush presets because you can do some neat stuff with it. We'll go neat again. See. So let's change the spacing. We'll go to shape dynamics and increase my size jitter. We'll add a little bit of scattering to it, and come back down here. And then I'm even going to select a different foreground color here. Let's go with kind of a dark orange color. So now when I start to brush this on the background, you can see we get a nice little kind of dot texture back there. All right? And these are the kind of things you'd have to create. You can see it uses that same brush back there. So these are the kind of things you'd have to create from scratch if we didn't borrow them, I should say, from within inside of Illustrator. Let's make another one, put right inside the middle there. Okay, so very, very trendy stuff here. One more here. I'm going to go do a different take on this. Let's go to the Grime Vector Pack, and you can see all these little splatters and splats and whatnot. So I'll grab one of those, copy, go back over here into Photoshop, make another new document. I'm going to do something just a little bit different. I'm going to paste it in here as a shape layer, hit OK, and you'll see it comes in as a brand new layer. If I go up to the Edit menu, I can go down to Define Custom Shape, and now not only did I create something that I can reuse, but it's something that I can scale and I can make it as large as I want because it's a vector shape. So do that. Come over here to our Custom Shape tool. Go down here to the bottom of the list, and you can see you can just drag one of those out too. Change its color. And there you have it. So a lot of cool stuff that you can grab from within Illustrator. Take advantage of some of those presets that come with Illustrator and just grab them and use them inside of Photoshop. You don't have to do everything inside of Illustrator if you don't want to.
I'm sorry, I was checking my email. What were you doing?
Hey.
I'll have to watch the show, see what Matt did. I'm sure he did something with people.
Shapes and vectors and stuff.
That rocks. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
Respectful.
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 Matt, I
respect
what you did there.
Go.
Okay, man, we haven't had the cat sound in a while.
I just did one.
Thank you.
Representing.
All right.
Representing the cat.
You are. You're down with the cat. Hey, is it contest time?
It is.
It is.
Finally. Dave, take it away.
Okay, last week we had a contest, and we asked the question, where in Photoshop do you find the little camera icon? And the answer was the history panel. So congratulations to the person who got it right and won the prizes. And speaking of prizes, Matt, what do we have this week, Matt, for prizes?
This week we have a fine, fine magazine that is produced by the fine, fine people over at Photoshop or NAPP. So we'll give you a 1-year membership to NAPP, which will also get you Photoshop User Magazine for the year. We have another set of the keyboard shortcuts, the little stickers you put on your keys. And that's it. Anything else?
How about our Elements book?
Ooh, I like that.
This one here. If I can reach it. I can't reach it.
There it is, our new Elements 7 book. It's so new we can't even find it. I got it.
It's shoved underneath the desk. It's like, I know it's here somewhere.
There it is.
There it is. It's perfect if you have Elements. If not, yikes.
Go get it.
Well, in order to win
Hey,
these prizes,
You know what we'll do, though? Matt and I will sign it for you. Dear eBay customer.
So in order to win these prizes, look at this here dialog box and say, what the heck is this dialog box? And
What's that right there, Dave?
PhotoshopUserTV.com and enter the contest. You have one entry you're allowed to make, and you must do it now. We'll wait. No, we won't. Okay. That's
All right,
the contest.
thank you, Dave. That was very concise. I respect the way you did that. A lot of respect for you, and
I respect
for
your
Matt.
respect.
Thank you.
RESPECT. Find out what it means to Matt. Anyway, it's
Three things to do.
3 things. We have 3 of them to do between this week's show and next week's show, and Matt will start off because he's very prepared.
I am very prepared. So when you guys see this one, you're going to think, oh man, we got to mention that one more often. Lens Pro to go. If you ever need to rent a lens, which you got to figure is going to come up at some point, and you don't want to go out and spend $2,000 on a brand new lens, you can spend $75 and you can rent one. So, and what's cool about it is when you go look up their lenses, everything's included, shipping, all that fun stuff. So,
Great way to test one out before you make a decision to purchase.
they range anywhere from $75 to $90 a week, which I think is pretty reasonable for that.
I've rented from them a couple different times.
Yeah. So
Excellent.
if you don't need it right now, bookmark the site because one day you will.
Well, if you're a sports shooter too, you know, the sports lenses are so expensive, and they've got all the big lenses. They've got all the big glass, baby. Very good. We should mention them more often.
We should. It's a public service.
That's good.
Thank you. Respect.
All right. Okay, mine is, I'm going to have you go to a website called Flipping Typical.
Oh, that's great.
This is a great website. Here's what it does. It looks, I don't know how it does it, but it looks at the fonts that you have installed in your system, and it shows you a nice big sample of all your fonts. But what I like about it is you can type in a word, and it'll show it in big letters in all your different fonts. So if you're like, I need it, there it is, Flipping Typical. So, and it does it just like that. It doesn't like load for like 6 minutes or something.
So
It's
this is my fonts?
Those are your fonts.
Really?
Do you recognize them?
I've never seen that one before.
Yeah, and if you refresh it, it'll do it again. It'll do it like another set of your fonts. But yeah, I like that font. That's nice.
Isn't that nice?
Anyway,
Zaffino.
yeah.
Scriptino. That's
No,
Scriptino.
that's Scriptina. That's not Zaffino. That's Zaffino. Anyway, but boom, it does it. And you can like write in really big letters, and it'll change every one of them to you. It's when you're on a project and you're like, you can't find the right font, try flippingtypical.com. It's free. And thanks to a friend of my blog, Janine Smith, who is a photographer out in LA-based photographer. She turned me onto it.
Pro. We use this
Well, I have
Trojan
a website that is just fun, and it's called Sleeve Face. It's just a really cool idea. It's people submit photos of themselves where they replace their face with a famous album cover, and as you look through, you can see because they can't, but just funny stuff like, you know.
Oh, that's
Kenny
pretty cool.
Rogers. It's just kind of fun the way they do it, where they have to try and find the right angle and everything. So it's just kind of for your amusement, kind of fun.
Dave, didn't you have a different to do?
Yeah,
like
can you give him the other one?
2
That was
minutes
really
ago.
cute.
Sorry, the other one was called. I just didn't want to play the music.
Was that a
again.
stunt to do, Dave?
No, it's Name That Theme Song is the other. It's got a much longer URL. That's why it's like televisiontunes.com/game, and it's just a Name That Theme Song game. So.
But it's kind of cute. It's an old television theme songs. And Dave's quite good at that. He was nailing them. I mean, they were playing, what is that? And he's like, you know, Father Knows Best. Boom. He was doing them. All right.
All right,
Hey,
I have a quick one
he's
for the
got
road
one.
video to build on what you did.
I was going to throw you to that.
Okay, sorry.
Hey, we're going to wrap things up. You know, we like to wrap up each show with one to go. And I think, Matt, you've got one for this
I
show.
do. Thank you.
No, it's Dave.
I got
Dave,
this
right?
website, Flipping Typical.
Yes. I thought since you mentioned our friend the patch tool that we like so much, a couple little things about the patch tool that you might not be aware of that are kind of fun. If you're trying to make a selection, of course, the patch tool works based on the selection, so it's worth reminding that the patch tool works like other selection tools. In other words, you could hold down the Shift key to add to the selection. You could even go to Transform Selection if you needed to change the patch, and even hit the Warp tool and use the Warp to transform your selection, and then once you're ready, you can use it as the patch tool.
Go ahead and drag that, Dave. Let's see how it comes out. Come on,
Yeah,
come on. You got to do it
I'll
now.
put it right over here. Yeah, that's perfect. There we go. Does a marvelous job.
That's a nice patch. Oh, I'm sorry, respect. All right. Well, so draws to end another Zen-like mellow episode of Photoshop User TV. I want to thank Michael Tapes, our in-studio guest, for being here today, showing us his very cool Lensalign Pro. And also want to thank just a couple of great guys.
Hey.
Matt and Dave. I have a lot of respect for them. Deep, abundant abiding respect for these two guys. I just really feel strongly that I should do the show alone. Come on, that was funny.
I was crying.
Oh, you were crying. Okay,
I did
all
my
right.
crying
Hey.
impersonation.
All right, guys, thank you so much. We thanks to all of our sponsors and all the people around the world who watch us and send us emails, except for the ones that say they hate us. We'll catch you guys right back here for episode 178, and we're going to do a live episode of Photoshop World too, right?
I hope not.
Anyway, catch you guys next time right here, Photoshop User TV.
This is the show that never ends.